This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Thursday, the 23rd. Boy, what a warm day today. Actually seeing some low 80s on the board. Wow, got that happening. Of course, chance of a few strong to severe storms tonight. A lot to talk about. But first off, this reminder, our annual Severe Weather Awareness Tour is coming to Cullman next week. We'll be at the Cullman Civic Center. The show starts at 6:30. And again, that's Tuesday, not Thursday. Tuesday of next week, 6:30. Hope to see many of you there. All right, how about that? Wouldn't it be nice to be out there in a boat just cruising down that river, basking in the sunshine on an 80-degree day in February? That's the Demopolis Skycam overlooking the Tombigbee River. They're sitting at 80 at mid-afternoon. There's the Chehaw Skycam. Of course, up on the big mountain, not as warm. They're sitting at 72 because of the elevation there. And way down south, the Alabama Gulf Coast. And before you know it, the spring break guys will be showing up down there. Okay, you can see the short waves swinging through the plain states, and that will be increasing dynamic lift, and that forcing should trigger scattered to numerous showers and storms tonight. Looks like the upper low over Baja will not be a player with this. No phasing. Yeah, man, temperatures, those are at 2 o'clock. Look at the 80s in Mississippi, Columbus and Tupelo 81. Jackson, by the way, hitting 84 today. That's a record. Birmingham at 76, 75 for Anniston and Gadsden around the nation. While we are in warm air, it's colder over the Rockies behind that storm system, but nothing dramatically cold for this time of the year. There's our watch warning map. Some snow issues up north. Des Moines, Chicago, Detroit. Red flag warnings for the southern plains down into Texas for very dry air, and some of the counties out in the mountains with an avalanche warning out west. Thought we'd check the temperatures, and again, that's the dew point contour you see, and you can see the rich dew points are scooting on up. These are taken at 220. The dew point down at Panama City is 71. The dew point at Montgomery is 63. Birmingham and Huntsville sitting at 55, and as the winds continue out of the south, the dew points will likely continue to rise, and we might see a dew point at or over 60 here this evening, and that should make the air relatively unstable, and of course, look at the numbers on that chart. Tuscaloosa's got 81. Those are more current than the last map I showed you, so that's something. The average high today is 61, so that's 20 above average. Wow. All right, this is where we stand with instability. Might as well just look at the current analysis, and we've got surface-based capes up to about 1,500 joules down in South Marengo County below Demopolis, and inevitably we'll probably see those numbers 1,000 or higher, and that's higher than forecast by the models this evening. This is the low-level shear, 0 to 1 kilometer helicity, based on storm motion in relation to storm motion, or relative to storm motion, I should say, and you can see they're pretty high. Higher values are in western Tennessee, down into Arkansas. We'll keep an eye on that. There's the STP, the significant tornado parameter, as high as a 5 down there in the Gulf, and we got a 2 between Muscle Shoals and Memphis. And if we can get storms breaking through the cap, the inversion, there could be a few rotating storms this evening or early tonight. But we got to get the cap broken. We'll see. There's the severe weather risk for tonight. Slight risk basically from Birmingham to Columbus, Ohio. That includes the northern third of Alabama. The higher probabilities are north of here, where the dynamic forcing is better. Tennessee and Kentucky, the numbers are not as great, 15% down here. And then day 2 tomorrow, there's the standard slight risk on to the east. Southeast Alabama, Dothan is involved in that. This is from 6 a.m. on. Then up the Atlantic coast to the mouth of Chesapeake Bay. In the rain for the next 5 days, this is valid through Tuesday morning of next week, and the amounts are heaviest in southeast Alabama, lighter amounts over northwest Alabama. All right, some modeling here. This is the look at the surface-based cape this evening at 6 o'clock. Off the NAM, and this is suggesting instabilities of maybe 750 to 1,000 joules, and it could be higher than that around here based on the numbers we have now. And, of course, the shear is sky high. We know that. A lot of helicity, and, again, this is 0 to 3 kilometer storm relative helicity. So that would set the stage for a few isolated tornadoes this evening. We'll check the RPM. This is the view valid at midnight tonight, and the RPM has just not been bullish on a whole lot of rain with this. It's got scattered activity out there, but scattered is the key word. And we'll see, that might mean that there could be a little greater threat of a tornado or two and that they're not lined up completely, and it's not a solid line. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, this run all of a sudden is slower. It's still got a band of showers in here, and then by noon, it's out of here down in southeast Alabama. So, overall, we're not going to change much for tonight. Showers and storms likely, maybe a few severe storms. The main risk, hail and strong straight-line winds. Could there be an isolated tornado? Yes. So we advise everybody to be close to a good source of warnings tonight. This is tomorrow on the GFS at noon at 500 millibars. There's your trough down below that. Showers are kicking out by midday. So the rain should be gone by early, maybe mid-morning at the latest. Saturday, as we start the weekend, cool and dry. The GFS is showing 57 after starting the day near freezing. And now Sunday, mostly dry. We got the moisture down south. This run not as aggressive. We'll call it partly sunny on Sunday with a high close to 60. Monday of next week, there might be enough moisture for a shower, but the better chance would seemingly be on Tuesday. And by Wednesday of next week, we got some upper forcing involved here. And down below that, a band of showers and storms along a cold front. The surface low is near Cleveland with a trailing front down through the mid-south. So maybe some thunderstorms involved by Wednesday of next week. And then a week from today, things are drying out and nothing really cold. The end of the forecast on March 10th, that's not a cold look. That's a pretty mild look, really. And dry if this is correct. And again, no evidence in these operational runs of any brutally cold air for the next couple of weeks. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you live around here, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.
The first thing you've got to understand, you cannot rely on an outdoor siren. You cannot hear those inside a home, a building, a church. It won't work. You've got to get something inside your house. That's a weather radio or maybe a smartphone app. We work with a company that's developed a wonderful weather radio app for Android phones and iPhones. It knows where you are, and if you're in a tornado warning polygon, you get the warning. And if you're not, you don't. It's an effective device, and it's a great way to be sure you get the warning.